Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fighter Test Podcast with me, Tess Jewson, and my husband and co-host, Terry.
We've made it to episode 3, we're doing well.
So last week, we spoke about my actual PH diagnosis and how it changed my lifestyle, and also how I coped with important decisions that were happening around that time. This week, we're going to talk about relationships, so I guess that's me and you, Terry.
Us two in a relationship, wow. How long have we been going for now?
7 years.
Jeez, I must be losing my mind with all of this so far.
That's very mean, but I think we're doing very well, thank you very much.
We are. So, do you want to go about how we first met then?
Before we go back to our story of how we first met, I just want to have a quick chat about what's been happening in my life right now with pulmonary hypertension. I haven't been at my best, and that is due to my medication. I've been on sildenafil for the past 13 years, and we found that my PH symptoms have gotten worse over the last few months. We decided to go back to the Royal Brompton and let them know that things weren't great for me. And 5 days ago, I have started a new drug called tadalafil, and so far it's working well and I'm doing good. So let's hope it's onwards and upwards for me now.
It's been a really nice change to see how you've been with the oxygen levels and everything. To go from the medicine before that you were on for so many years to change is always quite a scare. We found out that it's been quite helpful for us. So the way you're being able to walk the dog now is really quite nice to see, and we're really happy to see it. But obviously it is early days, as everyone knows, so hopefully we go forward from that.
Yes, we're definitely looking forward to me getting back to my normal self and hopefully being able to manage my PH symptoms. So fingers crossed, it's all forging ahead nicely.
So instead of talking about the present, should we talk about the past? About how you met a good-looking Australian, I assume?
On Tinder.
On Tinder.
So when you're dating and you have a chronic illness, it is very difficult. I think it's very difficult. And many people who have pulmonary hypertension have also agreed. I think it's because when you have a condition that literally rules your life as much as you don't want it to, having to introduce yourself as this person with this illness is quite difficult. You don't know whether they'll understand you, whether they'll get you, as they say, and it is quite frightening. So you have to decide whether you're going to tell this person on the first date, like I did, or whether you tell them later on during your relationship. There's never a right time to tell them about chronic illness, but you do it at a time that you feel is best for you.
I still remember the day we first met in Chelmsford, a lovely little city that we still live in now. So you drove all the way into Chelmsford and we decided to park at the same car park. I still remember standing there as you decided to drive right past me, pretending you didn't see me. So then I thought, oh, she's a bit nervous. So I waited for you and then we went for a lovely walk.
So when we got out of the car, he went to hold my hand and I said, oh, you don't want to hold this hand. I've lost a finger on this hand. He was really confused, weren't you, Terry?
I was. I mean, normally they're 5 last time I counted, but there was 4 this time. So it was a bit different.
So that was the start to one of my ailments.
So why have you got then? What reason is that?
I was born without a 5th finger on my left hand. To be honest, it didn't actually affect my life. I can still play piano, I can still play cello. It's not been something that I've missed. So luckily for me, not having a little finger on my left hand has made no difference.
So from that finger incident, we decided to walk to the restaurant. And just before we got to the restaurant, you stopped me again. I was like, oh no, what's now? You know, the fact is I may be on some of the posters for the British Heart Foundation. I was like, oh, okay, people might recognise me. Why were you on the posters for the BHF this time then?
So that year, I had just joined the campaign Wear It, Beat It. Up on a poster was a picture of me wearing all red with a red wig as well. So yes, I had to kind of point that out to him because even though I was wearing a red wig, I think he would still have spotted who I was.
So we sat down for a lovely meal.
And he was texting for most of the meal trying to organise an Arsenal match.
We didn't have to tell everyone that on the podcast though, did we?
Yes, we did, because that was very rude of you.
However, we're still together now, so maybe we have something aligned together with football. What do you think about that?
Yes, we now go to Arsenal matches together. Please don't boo us. I know it's Arsenal.
Yes. But no, even though I talked for a little bit on the phone, it wasn't the whole evening. And we started chatting, getting to know each other, and the hobbies and everything. And I think it comes to the point where we were talking about your heart condition and that. And I don't have any serious conditions like that, but it was really interesting to talk through it all and see your personality from it. And I'm sure some of the carers maybe listening to this podcast may realise is that some of the actual people with a serious heart condition or any other condition, the way they see life in a positive outlook is just so appealing. And that was one of the things I first fell in love with.
So when I did tell Terry I had pulmonary hypertension, I was very honest. I did say that it is an incurable and progressive condition. And I understand if you want to bugger off. No, I'm joking.
A bit late now.
No, so I'd said, look, I do have a heart condition. It is a serious and life-threatening one. But here I am today. I've come on a first date with you. I live life to the full and I make sure that PH doesn't rule my life. Take me or leave me. Got it?
Wow, it's a yes or no then, is it?
It was a yes.
So we went on one date, and then went on a few more dates, and the heart condition didn't seem as an issue to me for the person I see in front of me right now in this podcast. So you've always got to not push it, though, I'd say, and not pressure it. The heart condition is something that you have to be aware of, but I don't think it can make or break a relationship in my eyes.
As Terry said, we went from date to date and our relationship strengthened. I guess the main part of our relationship where it really strengthened was when we went on holiday to Dublin. We had a really good time, and I think that's where we realised that we were made for each other and our relationship could go the distance. A year later, we didn't wait long, we got married on the 27th of April 2017 at the beautiful venue of Gosfield Hall. It was a wonderful day, rather cold, but wonderful, and yes, I had my dream come true. I was in a beautiful ball gown dress and I walked down the aisle with my mum, because sadly my dad passed away the year that Terry and I met. I walked down, no help, as in needing a wheelchair or anything like that, and my PH symptoms were good for the whole day and I danced the night away. It was one of the best days. It was lovely.
So what advice would you give to someone who's thinking about dating, who has a serious health condition?
Just be confident. It's very difficult dating when having a chronic illness. And if that's something you want to do, is to find someone who will love and support you along the journey. There is someone out there for everyone. It may take longer than others, but you'll find them. They are out there for you.
So even though that I'm a carer and someone who's married to someone with the condition, I still don't see myself as a carer. I didn't decide to become a carer just to look after her. I've done it for my own life as well. I wrote a blog about this in the PHA that will be linked into the description of this episode. The whole purpose for a carer or someone who's willing to date someone with a health condition like this is the fact is you can see things you may not normally see in other people. You may actually see a life worth living more than just an ordinary life and complaining about the little things. Some people can't do the simplest as walking up the stairs, and you might appreciate things yourself because of this. And I love this life with my wife right now in front of me because of the way I become. So yeah, have a read. I'll say it's quite good.
Yeah, definitely take a read of his blog, because it's really interesting to read the carer side of being in a relationship. Because since Terry and I have been together, it's not been easy as in relationship-wise problems, arguing or anything like that. We've had to really think about what happens each time we go out, because there are good days and bad days for me, and when it isn't a good day, we have to really think about the accessibility, getting my wheelchair, looking at stairs, lifts. There's a lot to take in for us for when we go out. And we're not like other couples who can just grab their bags and out the door they go. We have to think of so much more. it kind of becomes second nature as to what to get. And it is hard to not just walk out the door saying, right, that's it, we've got our phone, money, keys. It's like, have you got your oxygen? Have you got your wheelchair? Have you got this? Have you got that? And it is quite a lot to remember. But I think we end up just doing it automatically now. And as someone in a relationship with someone who has a chronic illness, you have to start thinking in a way of life as a chronic illness, but don't make it all about that. Always have some fun as well. And yeah, your relationship should be good. If you enjoyed listening to our podcast, or you have any questions or any comments about our relationship and how we've had fun so far throughout our 7 years together and 4 years of marriage, then...
Wow, that's a lot of years.
Don't interrupt me, please, Terry.
Oh, see, it's been a while.
So yes, if you've got any questions, please comment or let us know.
It'd be nice to hear from you as well, to see your actual side of things and how would you give advice to other people, and we can share that on the podcast. And also for the next episode, we're going to be talking about work with people with serious health conditions. So we would like to hear some of your questions about it all. What would you like to ask us to see what we can answer? And also your experiences would be quite good. And hopefully you can actually send us some messages and we can go through them during the podcast. So that'll be really nice, please.
And don't worry, if you want to be anonymous, we're more than happy to just say your question. Please do get in touch. Our email is fightertestpodcast@gmail.com or via our social media, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Thank you for listening to our episode, and we look forward to speaking next week. Bye.
Bye.